Lakes have two sides to them. One side is during the day where it's a beautiful sight to take in, but when the sun falls behind the horizon, it seems like the darkness of the lake begins to take over and twist your perspective of what really lies underneath the depths. I'm your host Andrew, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 haunted lakes you don't want to swim in. At a number 10 spot, we have Gardner Lake. This lake, located in Connecticut, has one of the most strange but terrifying stories you'll ever hear. It all began in 1895 when a family decided to move their house across Gardner Lake in the winter, once the water was completely frozen. And I know you're thinking, how could this plan possibly go right? And you are right, it went horribly wrong. In their attempt, they placed the house over wooden slabs so it could slide over the ice. So after the first day of moving, they decided to take a break and come back the next day. However, the next morning they found that their house was sinking into the lake. Luckily, much of the home's valuables were rescued, but their grand piano sank with the home. Now visitors of the lake claim to hear this exact piano coming from underneath the dark depths of this lake, but nobody really knows who or what is playing it. At a number 9 spot, we have Lake Ronkonkoma. Considered to be Long Island's largest lake, is also one of the deepest lakes found in America, meaning the water here is pretty dark. The legend of the lake comes from a tragedy between two lovers. It happened when a beautiful Native American princess fell in love with a colonist, and the two would meet in secret on the shores of this lake. Eventually, their people found out and forbade them from ever seeing one another, so they would float notes to one another across this lake. Eventually, the two had enough and planned to marry one another and just run away. But the moment they did, they got caught and a fight ensued, causing the young colonist to pass away. The princess was distraught and decided to paddle her canoe into the deepest part of the lake, tie a rock to her body, and jump into the water to drown. As she fell in, it was rumored that she cursed the lake, stating that at least one young man will drown in the lake every single year from then on out. And it turns out that it was true, since there's a reported drowning at this lake every single year that always happens to be a young man. At number 8 spot, we have Iliamna Lake. Lake Iliamna is located in a very remote region of southwest Alaska, and when I say remote, I mean it, because in order to see this lake, you must either go by boat or one of those float planes. It also happens to be the largest lake in Alaska and the second largest lake in the entire US, so best believe this large body of water has more than a few creatures lurking its depths. Native stories speak about a large aquatic creature that has been the reason for many deaths around the area. Those who have seen the beast have said it ranges from 30 to 30 feet long in length with a square-like head. It's so powerful, it's said that it attacks small boats off of blunt force alone, meaning it will ram its head on the boat until it completely destroys it. At a number 7 spot, we have Lake Tahoe. I know, this is one of the most scenic lakes in the world, but it still made its way onto this list. On the border of California and Nevada lies this beautiful lake. Legends of the Paiute tribe talk about a serpentine beast who lived in an underwater tunnel beneath the nearby caves in this lake. Then in 1959, a police officer named Mickey Daniels reported that something large rocked his boat while he was fishing with a friend at Lake Tahoe. And it was a cause for concern because his boat was 43 feet long. So something huge must have shaken it up. Except there's no sort of whales in Tahoe. So many claimed it was actually the beast Tessie. They believe Tessie to be 80 feet long and as thick as a telephone pole. Many claimed it has relations to the Lochness monster in Scotland, and if you see the two side by side, they honestly look like brothers. At a number 6 spot, we have Walgren Lake. Just west of Nebraska is Walgren Lake, and this is a body of water that is said to hold a 40 to 100 feet beast inside. Witnesses have said it looks like an alligator that has 2 front legs and a flipper on the back. Others have said it has a serpentine body which also closely resembles the Lochness monster. But I swear, everyone everywhere believes they have a Loch Ness monster in the water, or is it just me? It is said that you will know if it's near when you smell a hard stench of rotting flesh. The first written record of this monster is from a 1922 issue of the Hay Springs News. The following year, a local man named J.A. Johnson described the monster in an interview with the Omaha World Herald. According to the report, Johnson and his 2 friends were camping on the banks of this lake when they noticed a creature about 60 feet away. The man claimed that as soon as the beast saw them, it belted out a huge roar, whipped around, and plunged beneath the muddy lake water. In the hub for a list, we have Lake Lanier. Some people come to this lake mostly to have a good time, but others in Georgia choose to stay far away from this body of water. This is because of the many drownings and boat accidents that occur inside of this man-made lake. And since its creation back in 1956, the lake has claimed the lives of over 700 people, which kind of makes this a cemetery at this point. Many blame the ancestral ghosts in the area. This is because many forget that the town around the lake was named Oscarville, which was home to over 1,000 African Americans who wanted to escape racial inequality. In 1912, a young white woman named May Crow was found dead in the woods, and many blamed it on these two young black men. This caused an enraged mob to drive the whole black community out of the town, with houses burning down and some people passing away. Now this could explain all the restless ghosts in the area, and this was a terrible event in US history, so it's no surprise that this place could be haunted. At number 4 spot we have Torch Lake. This one is pretty much well known in Michigan, but for those who don't know, the tale of the Torch Lake monster dates back in the early 1960s and 70s. Obviously it takes place in Torch Lake, which is located in North Michigan, and it's also the second largest lake in the state. A fisherman and a coach by the name of Dave Foley is credited with spotting the creature first and telling stories of it since he worked by the lake for a while. Legend goes that this giant creature has a lizard's body, the head of a cat, one brown and one blue eye, along with slimy green skin. This lake is approximately 285 feet deep, which makes what lies beneath much more scary and worrisome. Nighttime is when this creature is said to arise from the depths. At this time, many swimmers and boats go missing, only to wash ashore with no evidence of his demise. At number 3 spot we have Lake Winnebago. In east central Wisconsin lies the shallow freshwater Lake Winnebago. Back when the Winnebago tribe inhabited the shores of the lake, they would tell stories of a fish so big that it would snatch up entire deer and moose from the edge of the water. And when I mean snatch, I mean it would eat the entire thing whole, including the horns. It was so feared by the natives that they refused to cross this lake no matter what happened. Over the years, reports are made, but nothing was as significant when a group of men spotted a dark figure floating near the coastlines. After further inspection, they were sure they had spotted the monster, claiming it was around 15 to 20 feet long. Some locals claim that this monster is a prehistoric sea serpent that managed to survive through many grand level extinctions. Not much is known about this creature, and many people to this day refuse to go near this body of water for this reason alone. But considering this lake has a max depth of 20 feet, I don't understand how something so large could fit in here. At a number 2 spot we have Elizabeth Lake. Elizabeth Lake, just outside of Lancaster in LA, is said to have been created by the devil himself to keep his hellish pets. The urban legend says that a passageway to hell can be found if you swim deep into the lake. The first sighting of a monster here dates back to 1880. The monster is said to have a neck of a giraffe, head of a bulldog, bat wings, and estimated to be 50 feet long. And don't forget, it smells like rotten flesh. Sightings of this monster in Elizabeth Lake continue to be reported and strike fear into the locals. They would be so scared that landowners would actually sell or completely abandon their properties if it was close to this lake. And any attempts to build on the lake's land was no success. In our number 1 spot, we have Black Horse Lake. Near the city of Great Falls in Cascade County is a tale about a notorious yet mysterious hitchhiker. If you happen to be coming off of Highway 87 going down Fort Benton, you may encounter a man on the side of the street at night. He's usually found near the coastlines of Black Horse Lake, and that area is very flat, so the man is very easy to spot when you're driving down this road. But unlike other people on this side of the roads, this person isn't looking to get a ride. Instead, once your car gets closer, the person is reported to roll over the hood and cross the windshield of the vehicle as if they had been struck. As people begin to check the man after the hit, they realize they hit nothing and the person they saw previously just disappeared. Over the years, there have been hundreds of reports that claim the exact same thing. They say that they drive on this road, they hit a man, only to find out that they hit nothing actually. Many people believe this is the spirit of a Native American man who got struck and killed on this road back in the day. However, there is no written document. Apart from hitting a man, I would be more concerned about staying on this road after an incident like that. Well, these are the top 10 most haunted lakes that you don't want to swim in. What do you guys think about this list? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, but don't forget to like and subscribe to this video for some more scary content. I'm your host Andrew, and I hope you guys have a great day.